to the wall and back twice. Number one, so you're going to do seal presses. So if it's good enough, the last thing we'll do on end to end. Seal presses to the wall and back twice, the others. Away we go! Halfway! Let's go! Let's go, 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 go. Let's pick it up a little bit. And 2, 5.
I wake up each day still alive, and I'm thankful for that. And every day's a new day, and I love it. My whole life revolved around sport and academically wise. I don't think I was that bad, but my focus was never on that. My focus was always on cross country or rugby or, you know, having fun.
3, 2, 1.
And when I left, I tried all sorts of different things, but the thing I enjoyed the most was learning about the body, the different systems in the body, how it worked and how to fix them, and that's how I've ended up doing what I'm doing now.
5 to go.
I'm an osteopath, but what I'd call an integrated osteopath. I started off doing sports injuries, teaching sports injuries, and then I went on to qualify and get a degree in osteopathy. I love the buzz, so anything which gives me a bit of a buzz, bit of an endorphin release, bit of a serotonin release, makes you feel alive, scares you a bit, and it gives you that little bit more of oomph and enjoyment in your life. My bucket list, it's been going on a lot of years now, and each year I try and do 1, if not 2 new things I've never done in my life. And it just sort of come about. People said, we were out one night, a group of guys, and we were like, what have you done, Boothie? I said, I try and do loads of things, even if it's something ridiculous.
Shoulders again, sort them postures out, that's better.
I did the front face of Montgillet, it's quite famous. I was doing a powder extreme. And you look over this edge and it's just rocks everywhere and it's almost vertical, and it's like, are we really doing that? And I stood there for a little while and he said, we don't have to do this. And I was like, yeah, I do. As far as broken bones go from these things, you pay for it. I've broken both my collarbones, broken my leg, I've ruptured my hamstring. All these exciting, mad things you do come with a price.
Good, back up from there. Deep breath in again, exhale, side bend to the right.
I wanted to travel the world a bit. I wanted to carry on doing sport and enjoy it. And somebody said to me, the perfect thing would be the army.
Drop that one down again, push forwards, lean back.
The people they don't want there, you started with 117, you're down to 17. They've got rid of the guys they don't think are going to fit the bill to be in the parachute regiment. So you are left with the cream of the crop, basically. The fittest, the toughest, the most switched on, and the guys who will work well together and not let each other down. In the army, I was what they call a field medic. Each platoon had to have somebody qualified to be able to treat on the spot. You might have an argument with a guy one night, but the next day you wouldn't die for each other. That's what the parachute regiment's all about. We're one of the lead platoons. We've got 16 of us in the platoon, and I am the one guy, if anything happens to anyone, the first person who's got to get to them with field dressings, morphine, anything which can save their lives, basically. So whether it's applying pressure on a sucking wound to the chest, or whether it's having to like do the not so pleasant things with bullet wounds as you do. And then minute I've done my job and we have to push forwards, we leave that guy to the proper medics. And sometimes you've got to make the decision whether that guy's going to die, I've got to try and save this guy. You work together, it's always a team. Start together, finish together, end of story. And it's a lifestyle you get used to, but I think that rubs off on you later on in life. We'd just taken Mount Longdon, we'd gone back up. We'd not had any food for about 2 days. Then we'd boiled grass and all sorts. We'd been under fire, we were close enough from the mortar of the Argentinians to be getting us, and they were going off all around us. One of their airbursts had hit the rocks, and one of the guys had a bit of his stomach missing in there. And that was a bit of a day when you've got to like do your bit, and you're putting warm, hot stomach back into him, and then we used a shopping bag and we gaffer taped it once we'd put all the mud and everything back in his stomach, and he's holding it. And he was perfectly conscious, perfectly chatting to us then. He's going to me, breathe him, I'm all right. And I'm going, rest of you going to be fine. It's left a mark on what sort of person you are, how you deal with things. Yeah, you have the rough times. And 5.5 years in the Paras is enough. Keeps you sane. They really are renowned for being a bunch of nutcases, which they still are now. But that's what you need to make the best fighting force. One of the best fighting forces in the world, to be fair, the Parachute Regiment are known for. I think serving in the Falklands was a great tool in life to help you embrace life. A lot of my friends died out there. I wake up each day still alive, and I'm thankful for that. And every day's a new day, and I love it. I've moved on in life, and still people are living what they did them 20, 30 years ago. And a lot of them guys haven't progressed, and also a lot of people committed suicide since the Falklands with post-traumatic stress syndrome. All of a sudden you're let into what I call civilian life, and you're not in this gang anymore. You're not they've all heard your stories in the pub, and people can't cope with it. All of a sudden you're a security guard for £7 an hour or something, and these people can't deal with it. They've been the hardest gang. You know, everybody died for each other, and all of a sudden they're not that person anymore, and they've got to be able to deal with that. People can't deal with it. They turn to drugs, alcohol, crime, whatever you want to call it, and people do get messed up. They're still wanting to reflect on the old things, and sometimes you don't walk backwards. Why talk about things in the past too much? It's a different world now. It's you've grown up, you've got kids, you've got different things to think about, you know, and life isn't as cheap now as it was then. Yes, you still have memories of it. Have I ever been worried about dying? No. You do see things, and yes, luckily I was a very young age, and you can deal with it and move on. Me, I don't think it's left me scarred too much. I just put it to a place where it's safe in the back of my mind, and move on. And do I wake up having any nightmares or anything like that? No. To me, I don't really mention it to anybody. It's a part of life I've done, you know. If people ask, I'll tell them, but the next goal for me is always the exciting bit, and what you're doing, what my family's up to. Danger is excitement. It's the adrenaline, it's the serotonin release in the brain, which gives you something that makes you feel good. I'm a little bit older now, and I won't push that limit beyond now, but when I was younger I'd do some pretty stupid things, but still loving it now. It's great. But it's not all about the danger. I think it's just the experience of trying something new, and whether you say to yourself, well, I had a go at it, never done it again. It is a buzz you can't explain to everybody. It's a natural high your body gives you. It's like catching a great wave surfing. It's like throwing yourself out of an aeroplane. It's all these different things which just gives you that natural high. But I kept my sanity, did my 5 years, got out, and here I am now, yeah. You've set out a goal, loads of people know you're doing it, and the last thing at the back of my mind is I want to pull out. It's failure, and I don't really succumb to failure much, and I don't really want to either in there. So I'm a big believer, I start something, I'm going to finish it, and that's the way I am, that's the way I've always been. Come hell or high water, I want to get to the end of what I've set out to do.